first Maryland state hearing on behalf of a taxpayer. So the situation is that this taxpayer is self-employed. She ran a legitimate business and she had income and expenses with that business. The IRS did not disallow any expenses. The tax return went as scheduled. This taxpayer still had to pay taxes. She still owed a tax balance. Everything is fine on the federal end. But the state of Maryland said, we're not having it. And so the state of Maryland went back and audited her 2022 and 2023 tax return and basically asserted that she does not have a legitimate business and disallowed all her expenses but kept her income. So the income, they're like, okay, yeah, you made this amount, but we're not going to allow your business expenses. And so at the hearing today, they basically wanted more information on what certain expenses were and wanted us to provide substantiation documents that basically proved, okay, these, here's the proof for these expenses. So what I would definitely tell anybody that's going to a hearing, you're automatically going to be better off if you have representation. It's just like walking into a court hearing and having a lawyer. You're automatically, because just the perception of it, the fact that you went and hired representation is a flex, right? And so the fact that she had an enrolled agent to represent her, I am familiar with the Internal Revenue Code. And so certain things he asked, I was able to go back and back it up and said, because, for example, I'm a little excited, so I might be running off at the mouth. I'm a little excited. I love this. So, okay, so for one, she had a retirement plan expense. And so, he said, well, tell me a little bit more about what the retirement plan expense is. And so I explained, okay, she has a retirement plan, and those are the expenses that she incurred in the course of setting it up. And so he said, okay, well, tell me why, give me more information on what it is. And so I'm like, okay, according to Internal Revenue Code, as a self-employed individual, she has the right to set up a retirement plan for herself and to write off any expenses related to setting that up. Okay. And then he said, okay, fine, let it go. If she was just speaking on her own, she would have said things differently in a way where it would have automatically make it seem like, no, that's not correct. Okay. Because somebody who doesn't know the tax code would just think, okay, if you do a retirement account, that's an IRA deduction. That's going to be on a different form. Okay. He also mentioned the home office deduction, which is not on the Schedule C. There's a separate form that calculates the square footage of that and places it on the Schedule C. So I was able to explain that. And so just to sum it up, when you have representation and somebody who knows the tax code thoroughly, you're automatically going to be in a better position. So now we're in a situation where I will say, he did put some questions on there that I wasn't expecting. And me and her will have to have a conversation about certain line items on there as far as the income, not the expenses, right? So I already went through the expenses because that's what they disallowed. Like, okay, bam, 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 we ready. But on the income side, I wasn't prepared for some of the items he said. And so I will have to have a conversation with the client before going to substantiation to just verify everything. But so the next part of this is going to be the substantiation of documents. And this part is critical because you have to realize that this is an actual person sitting in an office that does not want to be bothered. Like, they don't want to be bothered. And so if you don't make it extremely clear, like, it has to be immediately clear and easy to see and easy to, like, everything has to be easy and put together in a way that's just, it's just like, fresh breath of air. And I know that because as a tax professional, that's what we want to see. I don't want to go looking through 1,000 documents to find this or that. And like, don't have things all mixed up. Show me what the expense is. Show me the invoice. Show me it being paid from the bank account. Bam. Open and close. So now that's what we're going to do now. So this is the part where I really have to get to work and, get my hands inside of the statements and the documentations and put together this exhibit for the hearing officer so that she is allowed her expenses. And this is important because what's going to happen is if this audit is not accepted, right? If it's not overturned, then what's going to happen is they're going to keep assessing it. Anytime you have an audit, if you don't go back and prove the documentation, especially on the state end, they will start disallowing expenses for the next few years. So what you'll find is you're always going to have a tax balance. So it is extremely critical for us right now to provide all the documentation needed to make sure this hearing goes well. Okay, this is just another reason why it is important when you are doing any type of audit, appeal, hearing with the IRS or the state that you have representation beside you so that you're able to navigate it in a way that's going to be in the best interest of you. Okay, that's all for today, guys. I'm so excited. My first Maryland state hearing, and they were pretty cool too. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace and love. Okay, so I'm so excited because I just completed my